super excited. This is our second episode for November, and it is a very important topic and a topic that's dear to me. As many of you know, my mom went through a lot the last couple of years, especially the last year of her life. But with the support of the organization and the person we talked to today, she was able to get care that she needed, and I was able to not have so much stress on me. I was able to trust the organization, and I'm just going to dive into it. So today we have Diana Solomon, and she is with the Detroit Area Agency on Aging. And this topic is really about support for not only elders, those with disabilities, but also some information for caregivers as well. So where does, you know me, I like to dive into it. I don't want to hold y'all long. So I am happy to introduce Miss Solomon.
Thank you so very much, Tay. Let me first applaud you and the work that you're doing. We as an agency, DAAA for short, we are grateful for the opportunity we had to serve your mother and your entire family. And I know I personally appreciate the opportunity to share the good news of our organization and how we're committed to serving seniors, older adults, those that are 60 and up. So I am Deanna Solomon. I am the Director of Fund Development and Communications for our agency. And here at DAAA, Detroit Area Agency on Aging, our team likes to use the phrase servant leader. And so we are committed, again, to the community, to caring for older adults and those living with a disability as servant leaders here in this community. And we serve 9 cities: Detroit, Highland Park, Hamtramck, Harper Woods, and the 5 Grosse Pointes. And so we have quite a broad reach when it comes to serving this area. But I definitely want to leave your guests with information they can use.
Yes, and I'm super grateful just again for this opportunity to just like you said, spread that good word. And I really want to hold kind of hold on into that servant leadership. That's something that's so important because not only leading in the community, but serving, giving back, and knowing that a lot of times before you can lead, you also have to know how to follow. You have to know how to follow. So I asked this question with everyone, which is, what does manifestation mean to you? And I know we're going to talk about the organization and everything, but I want to kind of dive into this. What does manifestation mean to you?
I saw, I gave that some thought, and knowing what your organization is about, and manifestation for me makes me think of my family and how I was raised. Primarily raised by my mom and my grandparents, and they always have raised me to believe in myself and the higher power in Jesus Christ, and to manifest all things positive. And I embrace that. I to this day, most will say, wow, why do you always look at things with rose-colored glasses? But I am a consummate optimist, and believe that people are good in their hearts, and that there's always something positive to gain from every experience that we have. So thank you for, again, the work that you're doing.
Right. So I just want to pull some key things out that I heard you say when it comes to manifestation. When you talked about the rose-colored glasses, was it's really about perception and that
Mhm.
positive mindset and going into situations, whatever those situations may be, whatever that positive outlook is. and that
Right.
growing up. So I appreciate you saying that. And we kind of learned a little bit about you. We know what you do for this organization. We know how you see manifestation. But if someone had to define the Anna Solomon, how would you define the Anna Solomon?
Well, I am known in the community, and that community is Metro Detroit. I worked for myself for 12 years prior to coming to DAAA. And I'll share that as well. But most people describe me as a doer. And I describe myself as a woman, a mom, and even a caregiver, right, to my own parents and family. But as someone who is committed to showing evidence of caring in all that I do and say.
Mhm.
And shortly after I moved to Michigan, quite some years ago, a long time ago, I was at a gallery here in the city of Detroit, and I read that phrase. That was the phrase or the descriptor for this painting. It was an abstract painting by a woman, by a Black woman, and I just was like, evidence of caring in all that I do and say. That's pretty impactful,
Mhm.
and I just have uh, never forgotten that. And I try to carry that with me um, through my life's journey, professionally, personally. But my professional and personal life, believe it or not, they're all one. So the servant leadership is not just something that I do at DAAA. Uh, it's how I live my life. And that's what pulled me into this agency because, again, I was working as an entrepreneur for 12 years and met the new CEO at a workshop at a conference. And he shared information, he shared his vision for the agency. And he said, I'm looking for a servant leader.
Mhm.
And it literally made me stop and pay attention. And I thought, oh, I that sounds like something I already do. I've
Mhm.
never heard it phrased that way, but I want to know more. I want to
Mhm.
know more. So
Wow. I just want to go full circle to back to that painting and how that one moment and how that resonated and how now here you are and you're not only speaking, you're doing and you're also uplifting and connecting people to lead sustainable lives. So that's powerful.
yes, I I believe in caring for communities, and throughout my entire journey of life, I've always volunteered, I've always served, and initially, early on. Uh, Way back when I was in my 20s, I most of my volunteerism was with youth, so youth and young adults, tutoring and mentoring. And still to this day, I still have engagement with young adults. Um, but I was really attracted to working for an agency or working in a space really that values people. And so even as an entrepreneur, as much as we need to make money, we need to sustain our lives,
Mhm.
I was very selective about the work that I accepted and that I, chose to do partnerships and projects over the years as a fundraiser. So uh, here at DAAA, we most people know us as there's a tagline called the Senior Solution.
Mhm.
use, and because it's easy, it's simple to use, and I always ask people, how are your parents doing? And I think that's a common question that we ask our of our friends or acquaintances when we're out and about or we see people. How are your parents doing? And that's what DAAA is. I mean, we are committed to educating, advocating, and serving older adults, those that are 60 and up, and even those living with a disability,
Mhm.
so that they can live life um, independently and with a quality of life
Yeah.
that's of their choosing, right?
Mhm. So one thing that really stuck out to me was that value of life. And I am, as I mentioned in the beginning when we talked, was my mother was, she received services from DAAA. And if it was not for a lot of those services, I'm not 100% sure she would have had the quality of life she had up until. And it was stressful. It was stressful because I honestly didn't know what resources was out there. When things started to happen, I didn't know how to move forward. And it was the organization, the agency that showed compassion. It wasn't just, she was just another person. She was a individual, she was a mother. She had children and they cared. They cared about not only her, but they cared about us as well. And making sure that, like you said, how's your parent? How's your parents doing? So I kind of want to dive into that a little bit more. I know you talked about some of who DAAA was, but I know we talked about the service. Can we kind of dive in a little bit more into what are the services?
Absolutely, absolutely. And so, um, first and foremost, um, I am so grateful that your takeaway from our agency was so positive enough to move you to call back
Mhm.
and do this interview. Uh, DAAA has served the community for 40 years, and one of the largest programs that we have that a lot of people connect to us through is Meals on Wheels. Some people just think we're called Meals on Wheels, when in fact we are more than meals. We are a resource hub for information, connecting seniors to everything from better nutrition to exercise programs to our senior wellness centers. We also offer clinical services that are connected to Medicaid and Medicare programs. We have certified counselors that provide direction on what type of Medicare and or Medicaid programs should you be using
Mhm.
that's going to benefit you based on your current health conditions. We don't sell any products or programs. We are state and federally funded. And something new that we offer is telehealth. We have a telehealth program that launched just this past early fall, um, especially understanding the emergency and the just the intensity of going through this pandemic.
Mhm.
It's as one of our research doctors says, it was like placing fire on top of a fire. I mean, there's a lot of seniors out there that have chronic conditions that we work towards. We work with them to eliminate or decrease, but the pandemic definitely has had an adverse effect on our community. So the beauty of our agency is there's just one number. And when you do call, our information and assistance team is so robust. very knowledgeable of the offerings internally and externally, that you go through basically a survey, a questionnaire. I mean, they're going to ask you questions,
Mhm.
and to make certain that if you're in need of a home delivered meal, you probably in need of some other services as well. So let us wrap our arms around you and give you all that you need to live that quality of life that everybody wants and deserves. So one thing that I will add is that this past year we're extremely proud of is, because we have served this community for such a long time, we knew, based on our relationships with individual households, that there was a need to deliver the COVID-19 vaccine and meet people where they were. We knew that there were some seniors that couldn't get out. And so we organized our providers and our resources and our team and implemented a homebound vaccination program. And so we've proud to share that we've vaccinated over 600 individuals, and I should say households throughout the Metro Detroit area. So that's a little bit. We do quite a few things.
Yes, and I really want people to kind of to be aware of that it, like you said, it is a hub, a resource hub for seniors as well as those with disabilities, to know that, hey, there is support. And it doesn't depend on and it different health conditions, of course, but you can reach out and see what could you qualify for, what could you tap into, and you don't have to do it alone. There's people that will walk through it with you, and sometimes that's what's scary. Is like, okay, I'm calling, I'm reaching out, but I don't know what I need. I don't know what I qualify for. I don't know what I need to do. And that's what I appreciated, is I was able to be honest, and I was able to be transparent on, like, this is what's going on in my life. This is what's going on in my mom's life. How what do I do next? And that person was open to connecting me to what we needed to do and take those next steps. Um, I do want to dive in a little bit into qualifications for some of those resources. Are
Okay.
there specific qualifications or requirements?
So the number one requirement that we have is you have to live in our region.
Okay.
Area agencies on aging, AAA for short, we're all state and federally funded, and we're segmented by region. And so, if you call us from, I don't know, Flint, we're going to direct you to the AAA in Flint.
Okay.
So the good news is that even if you called us and you don't live in our region, there is an area and agency on aging available to assist and support you.
Mhm.
And we all have a baseline of similarity in programs and services that are offered to seniors. So that's the first step, is that, you live in one of the 9 cities that I referenced earlier. The other thing I will go back to again is even Meals on Wheels, that's not income based. It's based on a senior or an individual who has a disability, their ability to physically get out and make their own food, even after they have food
Mhm.
at home. So it could be the perfect situation is, my mom had knee surgery. Well, she's blessed. She did have someone who's able to, we were able to support her. But there are many of seniors that if they have a surgery, they're temporarily out of commission, and they just need support.
Mhm.
So we're able to provide that. So there are a couple programs. There are clinical programs. They're called My Healthcare Choice and my Healthcare Link. And those are income-based.
Okay.
We have some income-based services, and that's a matter of a conversation.
Mhm.
uh, Being able to walk through with our basically our information and assistance or intake to determine what you would be eligible for.
Okay.
So
Okay, awesome. And is there any way do you have a number? I know I'll have it on the screen scrolling by, the number people can reach out to or website?
yes, so we have both. Like I said, it's one phone number, and our one phone number, we have a live caller. We always have, even during the pandemic, the onset of the pandemic. It's 313-446-4444. So 313-446-4444 is our main number to the agency. And then our agency website, I'm so proud to share from our communications team, was recently updated during the pandemic so that it's more user-friendly for older adults and maybe those that are vision impaired. And our website address is DetroitSeniorSolution.org. So it's DetroitSeniorSolution.org.
Awesome, awesome. So I just want to, everyone's watching and everyone listening, I just want to keep reiterating that this is an opportunity to even just look into, whether it's for your parents or you just know of someone who may just need some help, need some assistance, or need someone to talk to. This is a great way to just connect people to some amazing resources, especially our seniors and those individuals with disabilities, to know that they're not alone and that somebody cares. As I mentioned before, this agency relieved a lot of stress off of me, helped me to understand what it meant to be a caregiver too, and what it meant to have resources for my mom. And it walks you through the steps. And I know, as you mentioned earlier, there are so many different services, and we can't go diving into each one with extreme detail. But I do want to reiterate that all of this information is out there. And if that person or that senior cannot, they not gonna get on computer, a phone call, that person will walk through with them, a live person. And I think that's so important, because I know that was one thing with my mom, was like, I'm not about to talk to no robot. Like, I want to talk to an actual person. And
Right.
that was appreciated. Do you have any advice for those seeking support?
That's a great question. My advice would be to make the call,
Mhm.
visit the website, and know that you're not alone. There are, you know, there's a community here of resources that are literally just standing by, ready to assist and support you. And I mean, we care about your senior, your older adult, or you as the older adult. Again, being able to live a quality life. And there's a servant leader, right? That's waiting to serve you. So that would be my advice, is to make the call.
Mhm. So that you have it, you guys. So we kept it short, but at the same time, it was impactful. And I hope that someone who sees this, you know that you are not alone and you don't have to walk through this journey alone. There is support. So I just want to thank you again for being on the show.
Thank you, Tay. It's been a pleasure. We'll have to do this again.
Yes, yes, I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
it. Maybe even diving deeper into specific categories too.
Okay. And I'm gonna make certain that I am following you on all my accounts.
Awesome. That's Manifest 31, you guys. So Manifest 31 on everything, on everything. So I just want to say thank you, and we are out. Bye.
Bye.